When you think about clutter, it's easy to picture a messy room or stacks of papers piling up. But lately, there's been a shift in how we see clutter. It's not just an aesthetic issue. It's really starting to be seen as a mental health challenge, especially for young adults.
Yeah, it's fascinating how clutter is no longer just about a disorganized closet. From what we're learning, all that excess stuff, physical, digital, even emotional clutter can weigh on our minds. People are talking more openly about how these messes drain their energy and focus, and even trigger feelings like anxiety or exhaustion.
Exactly. And for university students, the pressure is even more intense. Smaller living spaces, tight schedules, nonstop digital notifications, it all adds up to a kind of background chaos that can seriously impact emotional well-being.
Not to mention, there's a lack of real guidance on how to handle it, especially in places like Guatemala. It's almost like clutter is both a symptom and a cause, showing up when things are off emotionally, and then making those feelings worse.
That actually makes me curious. Why do we keep accumulating all this stuff in the first place? Is it just about bad habits? Or is there more going on underneath?
There's definitely more to it. Sure, consumer culture and advertising play a big role. Think about how many times a day we're told that buying something new will make us happier. But clutter also ties into deeper psychological reasons, like holding on to things for emotional security, or even avoiding tough feelings.
I've read that keeping objects sometimes serves as a stand-in for unmet needs or tough memories. And it's not just about physical things. That digital pileup of emails or files can be just as suffocating. It becomes a sort of invisible weight.
Totally, and for some folks, like those dealing with ADHD or anxiety, it's even harder to set up systems or routines to keep things under control. So clutter isn't just the result of laziness, it's a mix of emotional, cognitive, and cultural forces.
Speaking of digital chaos, I think it's wild how clutter isn't just about what you can see. There's physical clutter, the classic overflowing desk, but also digital overload, and emotional clutter too.
What surprises me most is how these types all interact. Like, a cluttered inbox can spike anxiety just as much as a messy room. Or emotional clutter, those keepsakes we can't let go of, can make it really tough to part with even the smallest objects.
And then there's visual clutter, which you might not even notice at first. Too many colors, decorations, or mismatched stuff in one space. It actually competes for your attention and adds to stress.
Exactly. And in a university setting, most students deal with all three at once: books and supplies everywhere, endless notifications, and personal mementos. It's no wonder so many report feeling overwhelmed.
Funny how something as simple as clutter can have such a ripple effect. We're not just talking about inconvenience. It actually affects health, relationships, and even how well people do at school or work.
Absolutely. Research shows that living in cluttered spaces can raise stress hormones like cortisol and even lead to more allergies or trouble sleeping. And on the mental side, clutter fuels distraction and procrastination, which makes it harder to focus or feel in control.
Plus, it can spark tension within families or roommates. I've heard stories of arguments breaking out over lost items or shared spaces getting too chaotic. It's a social problem too.
And for students, especially, clutter can quietly erode self-esteem. When your environment feels out of control, it's easy to start believing you can't manage other parts of your life either.
So the big question is, what can we do about it? That's where ideas like minimalism and emotional literacy start to shine, not just for cleaning, but as tools for well-being.
I love how minimalism isn't just about having less stuff. It's really about being intentional, choosing what actually matters, and letting go of the rest. It can be incredibly empowering, almost like reclaiming your space and your mind.
Yeah, and emotional literacy comes in when we tune into why we hold on to certain things. Learning to notice those patterns, maybe keeping something because of guilt or fear, helps us break the cycle.
And design has a role here too. Simple, clear visuals or bite-sized guides can make it much easier for students or anyone struggling to take that first step. It's about making the process doable and even rewarding rather than overwhelming.
That brings up an exciting point: how design itself can help people tackle clutter. There's real potential in creating materials that guide, motivate, and even make emotional learning more engaging.
For sure. Think about interactive journals, infographics, or even social media campaigns tailored to students. The key is to mix education, reflection, and visuals in a way that's relatable and practical.
And when you add in strategies like breaking tasks into small, manageable steps or using reminders, it suddenly becomes much less daunting. I've seen how even something like a visual checklist can spark real change.
Exactly. It's about building habits that last, not just quick fixes. When design supports emotional awareness and organization, it gives people tools to take back control, one step at a time.